Living my dream
We're
life.
talking about living our dream lives and how we achieve that after burning our businesses. Well, you didn't burn your business
By
to
giving up.
I burned mine to the
No,
ground. You like technically, did a little something with yours.
I
Kind of.
technically landed the plane, but within 6 months of being there after landing the plane, I think I was in the worst mental health of like my entire life. Full mental breakdown. Like I was getting physical rashes. I was losing my hair. I literally developed like this weird herpes infection on my finger. Like
What
who
the
even
fuck?
knew that you could have herpes on your fingertips?
I knew you should have
Um,
herpes on your fingertips.
how did you know that?
I feel like I learned from somebody with herpes that is not on their fingertips. So
That it can be
that it can.
anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and I had my friend's dad diagnose me, who is a hand and foot specialist. So yeah, I was in a very dark place after selling the business.
Oh my God.
I'm not a corporate girl. I tried. It wasn't a
Same.
good fit.
Same.
Um, and yeah, rebuilt my life brick by brick based on what I thought would actually make me happy. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Tell us what you're going to talk about.
Okay. What I'm going to talk about is how happy I am ever since I left my company and how tragic it is that people don't see how happy you can be after leaving your company. Like, just throw the whole company away. But I'm also, I'm such a mindset girly. I'm so
Yeah,
like I kind of want to cover the bases of like, okay, how are we getting from there, like super depressed in therapy,
anxious,
like anxious, can't go to bed at
medicated,
night, like
deeply
'cause we've
medicated.
we've both been there, like literally, like how do you go from there to here? I want to backtrack and I want to zero in on that text message that you sent me when you were like, I'm laying in bed last night and I was like, oh my God, this is my dream life.
Mm.
Like, how do we go from the herpes on the finger
It was
to
this one. It was my ring finger.
oh, that is like dark
Disgusting.
sided. I'm so superstitious. I'd be like, did somebody put black magic on me so I don't get married? Like, what the fuck is that about?
It was
Girl,
gross.
what?
But yes, I was there. I was like in the darkest pits of hell. And then I decided I deserve to be happy and I want to be
Yes.
happy. So how are we going to make that happen? And what does that look like?
And this is after the company is donezo.
Yeah. The company sold. I was like, I should have felt really happy because
Yeah.
I feel like I did the math at the time, and it was like even the chances of us raising venture capital were so slim when we did
Yeah.
it, and then it's like the chances of actually exiting are so slim, and so you think that because you've accomplished this really like esoteric, big, like public thing, and it wasn't like a flop acquisition. Like our whole team got jobs, many of them got like raises and made some money on the exit, and like me and Alana made a little money on the exit. Like some investors made money depending on when they invested and if they bridged us, um and God bless the ones who did. But it's like it I felt like I should be really proud and really happy, and instead I was like the most miserable I had ever been, the most panicked, the most anxious, the most intrusive thoughts, the most negative on myself. And it was
What do
really
you think?
surprising. But
What brought that on? Would you say?
I think, like, at the end of the day, your happiness is really a result of what you do every day. And if you feel in alignment with the things that you're doing and the things that you're working on. And at the time, I felt like I wasn't super excited about the things I was working on. I probably also had like an adrenaline dump after 9 months of due diligence. I also candidly like, I like managing part-time people and I like managing semi full-time people, but like the pressure of managing other people's careers and the emotional labor of some of that at the time, I felt was really overwhelming and not compatible with what I had the capacity to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I also didn't feel a lot of freedom. Like I was in a 9 to 5 again,
Mm,
in a corporate environment.
despite having
And
your company
yeah,
that you
but that
started
was
with
kind of
were not equipped for a 9 to 5.
exactly. And so I think the other thing that's disappointing is sometimes you tell a story in your head about how you're going to make it work, right? When I
Yeah.
sold the company, was like, I'm going to make this work. The office was on Wall Street. I had a Pinterest board called Wall Street Bitch. I made this whole mood board of who I was going to be and how this was going to be my new corporate alley era. My title was VP of strategy. This, everyone wants that title.
Yeah.
And I really, really put it on this pedestal of this is going to
Mhm.
be great and I'm going to make this pop. And then the reality of it, of actually not being able to do that because of certain constraints and just certain discrepancies between who I was and what I'm meant for. Um, it was devastating. And I
Mm.
remember specifically having a full blown panic attack in my bathtub on a Wednesday night and
Oh
just
my
being
god.
like, I have to get out of here or something really bad's going to happen. So it's it's wild, the little pretzels that we twist ourselves into, but I feel like it's the same with
Mhm.
you. You
Literally.
now realize, and sorry also for our audience, we're having a bit of a delay. So if we talk over each other, it's partially because there's a slight audio delay for me. Um, but I feel like you say this too about the established, where you went into the business with certain intentions, you then shut it down and have this clarity of the business was a vehicle for something else.
Oh my god.
So
Yes.
I want to hear more about that while I shut this door so I'm not yapping at all of
Oh my god.
the floor.
What did you just say that hit me? You said something just now. You were like, you before you got in the bathtub. Oh yeah, like the expectation that you have. It's so funny because I was journaling last night and I had this mega breakthrough. Um And it's crazy because it's like, I feel like that is where we go wrong when we set the expectation. I think when I started my business, it's so crazy. I was in such a different place. Um, I'm just like, like, who was even that person? Like, I just feel like I started it with so much to prove. I started with so much financial trauma, so much career trauma and career shame of feeling like all my peers were kind of on this linear path and advancing in ways that were very obvious and made sense. And I'm like, I have the same education. I've done all the things and it's it's not mapping out in the same way. And like you, kind of tried the corporate thing, not a fit as we know talk about this a lot. I will literally come to work and cry in the bathroom, like, why am I here? Um, Although I did take a job right before the business blew up to support the business. Um, and then I ended up staying there for 5 months and then COVID happened. And then I quit my job because the CEO put out this racist statement. It was the height of George Floyd and all this. I quit and the next day I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I should have quit my job during a pandemic." That's who does that? But and I had already been struggling so much to get it off the ground because I just
Yeah.
had this energy of just feeling like I had so much to prove. And I feel like the business it was I was projecting so much of that onto the business, and I felt like
Mhm.
it owed something to me back, and so it was all of that energy, and I think that, there were so many lucky breaks that I had in between that kind of distracted me from, the unhealthy mindset that I was developing and the relationship that I was developing towards the business. I quit my job, and the next day, we end up going viral on Cosmopolitan. Who the fuck does that happen to? We end up going mega viral. I sold out everything. And now we're on the map and now we're featured in every article because of that one article. And now I'm full time in a business instead of full time at a job. And so I felt like it kept growing. I felt like it owed me more and more and more because I'm like, it's a long time coming. No, I just turned 30 at that point. I'm like, I've got a lot to make up for. and it becomes this, like, this insatiable appetite.
Mhm.
And then when you realize that the expectations that you have for it are maybe not being met or don't show up in the ways that you expect them, like, I remember having that moment too. Like, I have everything. I live in an amazing apartment. I have a great home. I'm able to live a life off of this business that I spun out of my head with $200. That's fucking crazy. Nobody, like, who does that? Like, but I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I didn't really feel good. Like, I didn't really feel accomplished because I feel
Mhm.
like I was expecting it to look a certain way or feel a certain way, and it doesn't. Like, the truth about most success, as I wrote last night in my breakthrough, is, like, it's boring. It's not like this sort of, like, climactic thing. It's like you're searching for the next kernel and you're, like, waiting for it to turn into this big piece of popcorn, and it's like, you're gonna just disappoint yourself. And so I think that that
Yeah.
led to a depression for me. Also, a lot of my relationships were really the relationships, girl, people don't tell you about that. Like, the friends, I a lot of my relationship dynamics changed a lot, and I was like, I think a lot there was too much external focus, I think, for
Yeah.
at that time.
How
Yeah.
did you pull things in more internally? Because this took me a while to ask, like, well, what is gonna make me happy? Like, what are the things I actually need to be, like, pursuing or building into my life so that, like, I feel that sense of gratitude and happiness every day? Like, how did you figure that out?
You know what's crazy? And I actually wanna ask you this too, because I feel like I'm just getting there. Like,
Mm.
after the business is done and gone, like, I feel like now I don't know that I was able to achieve that inside of the business. I don't
Mhm.
know that I would have ever gotten there. I really I just felt like running my business, I I was never really, like, happy in the way that I'm happy all the time now. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't,
Yeah.
like, sustained emotion. There were bursts of gratitude, but there was so much heightened stress and pressure. Again, I think of just the years of setting these expectations and, like, expecting them to turn up a certain way. So, I don't know. I don't know that I would have achieved it inside the business. I feel it now.
Yeah.
I feel like now I'm just, like, floating through life, and it feels good. Like, I don't really care, I think, enough. Maybe it's with age, like, I'm just, like, I think the focus is more on me versus the thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you change yourself and you get the thing. Like, my focus before was, just always focus on the thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and it's like, it's miserable. It's a miserable existence.
I completely agree. I think I was very similar to you in that, like, the demands of the business, like, happened very quickly. The business also pivoted and changed a lot over time where, like, the thing I thought I was committing to was not the actual life that I was living. It's like I thought when we first started the company, I was gonna be writing all the time, and then suddenly it's a venture-backed tech company, and I have to be, like, a growth expert and figure
Mhm.
out revenue and marketing ops, and, like, at the end of the day, with my company now, like, the little agency I'm running, there are so many new and annoying things that I have to figure out, but I think because it's my 2nd time doing it,
Yeah.
I know that it's expected, and also things happen now at my own pace,
Yeah.
whereas before there were investors and there were employees that were, like, informing the pace at how things were going, and so I think for me, what made a big difference and what really helped me dial into, like, what makes me happy is Grace mentioned this in the chat, but, like, I had to, like, completely walk away from everything. I was like, "I have to walk away from my
Yes.
company." I also broke up with my boyfriend at the time at the same time. I started living alone, and I think what really helped me was, like, layering commitments in bit by bit and really asking myself before I committed to anything or said yes to anything, like, "Does this feel aligned? Am I excited about this? Like,
Yeah.
why am I excited about this? Like, do I wanna spend my time doing this?" And I think what I learned is like, I really need the mornings to myself. Like, I need a few
my
hours
god,
before
same.
I check my email, before I talk to anybody, before I deal with my team to like be just focused on myself, whether that's a workout, reading, just flopping in bed with coffee. So that's one thing that like I didn't do when I had my other business. I didn't
Mm,
know that I needed that. And so I would just wake up, go to work, like no,
oh,
had no personal time. The other thing I've learned is like, I do like collaborating with people and I do like managing people, but it needs to happen bit by bit. Like, I went from now having one person on my team to then two, to then three, to then four. Like, I think the overwhelm of suddenly being responsible and like
yeah.
having that empathy for like 15 new people suddenly, like the pace of growth at my previous company, I found it very overwhelming. But like, I love collaborating with people, I love working with people. It just needs to happen in more of like a step by step process versus like, hey, these are like,
Mhm.
I mean, that happened to me after the exit. It was like, here are 19 people that you suddenly have to manage. So I realized that that just gives me a lot of stress, and that's not something that enriches my life. And I realized too, like, I need a lot of time to be with my closest friends and like have that girl time, which I also think my friendships really suffered in my 20s with my first business. I
Oh
think I
my
didn't
god.
dedicate time and like really also detach myself in the time I was spending to be
Yeah.
like in the moment with the people that I loved. And so, I just went on vacation with my mom and like disconnected for 6 days. Like, I'm visiting my friend today and like, I'm going to try to wrap up early and like just spend like undesigned time together. And I think that I used to find my friendships a bit more burdensome or honestly irritating in my 20s because I was like, this is at the expense of like my work.
I'm like, I cannot travel right now. I have a job and a
Mhm.
career. This is mindless. Like, I
And it's
cannot
like, no
spend
offense, like
right now.
you're
I can't
not,
spend money on my business. Like, I have a
but it's like you're
business.
not that important. It's like it's not that important. Like, not that it's not that important, but I think I just like I took everything off the pedestal and it's like if I don't have the capacity at 9 p.m. to like deal with client stuff anymore, I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a tomorrow thing and I release it, and I feel like I wasn't able to do that before. And all of these small changes have led to a life where like I genuinely wake up every day excited to live versus
Yes.
a few years ago, it was really like, how am I going to like keep doing this? Like, it was very, very dark. And so
Wow.
I don't know. I love your story because I love that you were just like, "This isn't it. Like, I'm shutting this down. Like, I'm
Yeah.
radically pivoting. Like, I'm not investing my time and energy into this anymore." And like, you didn't, come out of that with any shame because I think that people should not be ashamed of making the decisions and the changes that lead toward their happiness. Obviously, if you're like doing infidelity or like scamming or cheating, I mean, you and I love a little scam, but
We
like
do.
obviously there's a line there, but like you can't just keep doing something because you feel like you should. Like, that to me is the root of so much misery for people.
No, 1,000%. It's the root of, I think, everything miserable. It is.
It is.
Wait, what else was I gonna say? I feel like I'm having so many bursts of thoughts. Um, okay, so but when you started Bulletin, okay, like, did you expect the business to bring you the feeling that you're feeling now? Like, or was there any thought there? I feel like you started so much younger, so it's hard to kind of envision, but, like, did you
I was
think that it
20.
would be, like, this outlet to your happiness at the time?
Listen, the reason that I'm like obsessed with the FIA story and I'm obsessed with like founder scammer stories is because I think that so many people start businesses from the same like kind of dirty nugget of inspiration, which is like, I want to be important. I want to matter. I want to prove my worth. I want to showcase that I'm special, like all these things.
Yeah.
And I think when I was 24, that's why I started this journey. It wasn't because I was like, "Oh my god, independent businesses, like small businesses, they just
Yeah.
like they really need more exposure." Like I love small businesses, like or independent design, like there just really isn't a good way to like shop independent
Yeah.
design. Like it was not pure. It was like this woman that I really admired who was really smart, like invited me onto this journey with her and I was like, this is how I'm gonna be special, like this is
God,
how I'm
why
gonna
did
be
our stories
important.
kind of start the same way? That's actually fucking
I
crazy.
don't know,
That's
but I
how I
think
got
that's
into
why.
beauty. Like somebody was like, "Hey, you should come along with me in a co-founder capacity." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, bitch, I don't
Yeah.
fuck about skincare like that, not in the beginning. Like,
Yeah,
this
you're like,
is
"Here's my
not
chance for 30 under
yeah,
30,"
to like really no, literally, and that was like my biggest goal at the time. Like I didn't think about it any of it. I just was like, yeah, this is my chance to feel important. It's
Yeah.
so
So
true.
that's why I did it, and eventually, I think that's why so much of it wore on me is because the
Yeah.
origin of it was not authentic and it was not organic versus now, I'm like, "Okay, these are the things I like to do. I love collaborating with people. I love supporting businesses and founders where, like, we have a vibe and, like, I think they're great and I really respect what they're doing, and, like, I love helping. I love being a services-based business. I love being able to manage my own time. I love to, like, pay other people to work for me and help support them. Like, I love having the freedom and flexibility to write my Substack. It's like the thing I'm
Mhm.
doing now is informed by actual, like, personal road mapping and, like,
Yeah.
self-awareness and, like, knowing what I enjoy and how I bring value and how I like feeling day to day. Something that really bothered me at my last company, which now I'm like a full-blown coder, so, like, this wouldn't happen again. I'm not a full-blown coder, but the like, working with product and engineering teams, you're delegating to people that have skill sets that you don't have, and
Yeah.
so you want them to move faster or you want them to bring an idea to life, and, like, you're beholden to them, versus like with me and my business now, it's like I'm not beholden to anyone else to make my vision happen. I'm the only one that I'm beholden to. And I like that sense of control.
Yeah.
So I think like I'm done rambling, but it's interesting that you started for the same reason. I think a lot of people start this way. And I think it's also what leads them to scam because they're like, this is how I'm going to like
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
accolades.
1,000%. And you're actually tugging on a thread that I think about a lot. And I feel like I only recognize this in hindsight, but I really do think a lot of people don't they underestimate how happy and how successful you can be doing things that you actually like to do. Under capitalism, where like I have to do this, I have to go into tech, or I have to become a doctor, or I have to start some business that like maybe doesn't make sense to me, but like, I'll figure it out. It'll make a lot of money. Like I feel like it's actually so sad. And this is like the humanistic part of me. Like I'm like, this is like the woo woo coming out. Like this is like there's a deep
We're ready.
we're all somebody like we all have a purpose. But like no, when you were a soul being in the abyss and you decided to come here through this body, through this experience, why would you choose to do something that you don't wanna do? Like, when you were a little soul in the abyss, like, do you think that you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna, like, become this I'm gonna live life as this person, and I'm gonna make it as hard as possible for her." Like, that is our environment telling us that we have to do these things and that we have to submit to these things that we don't wanna submit to, but we just have to suck it up, and we get so used to this and this like, we're programmed to do this since we're little kids, Like, the "What do you wanna be when you grow up?" Like,
Mhm.
the need to have it figured out at such a young age, and I feel like now, people are a little bit more open, there's a little less shame around, like, pivoting and non-traditional careers and all the things, but I think maybe in, like, 5 years ago, it felt kind of like it felt like, "Okay, is this person lost? Like, you don't know what you wanna do. You wanna do this and you wanna do that." But, like, I truly feel like the path to success is to just follow what lights you up or even whatever lights you up in that moment, whatever idea that you have that sparks into action. Like, it will
Mhm.
always lead you to the next thing, even if that's not the thing, and a lot of us aren't really open to that because we're like, "We just gotta survive, and we gotta
Mhm.
strive and struggle," and
Mhm.
it's so crazy because after I shut my business down, I didn't really have a clear plan for what was next. I sort of was like, "I would like to consult, and I like beauty, and I love founders, so maybe I'll just, like, open up a link and say, 'Hey, like, I'm open to consulting,'" and, like, it just, like, the link, like, popped off, and I walked away with, like, a handful of clients. I didn't even think, like, it would really be anything,
Mhm.
and, like, the work was so easy because it's stuff that I had already done, especially working with early stage founders and beauty, like, I'm just like, "Wow, it can actually be that easy. You can actually get paid. You can actually live a life." I think, like, I went to Italy a month later and just had the time of my life. Like, I went with my family, I didn't work a lot. I was probably working,
Mhm.
like, 5 hours a week or less. Like, the 6 months that followed me shutting my business down, and I didn't really foresee it, but I just was like, "I think that this is where I need to be and the mind that I need to be in. It feels like a good decision for me to not be doing that, but it lights me up to think about doing this," and it's so crazy. I'm like, and I live my dream life in so many ways, like my dream neighborhood, my dream leisure. I like to wake up when I want. I like to go on a long walk that makes no sense. I like to do my robotic affirmations. Like, I might not wanna work until 12 o'clock and crack open the laptop until
Yeah. Yeah, and I
and
think, like
you can actually live a life where that's possible.
yes, and I think what's really interesting is me and a few of my friends, I'm thinking of one friend in particular, the realization of like, "Oh, the rubber doesn't always need to be meeting the road." Like, there is I don't wanna say a path of least resistance, but, like, it is like, it is okay to not struggle, and it is okay to not be miserable. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as I decided that I deserved ease and I deserved, like, free
Girl,
time, but
that
I also deserved money and all these other things. It's like I don't put myself in situations sometimes I still do accidentally, but then I, like, rectify
mhm,
them. I don't put myself in situations where I can anticipate that I'm going to like, lose ease or, like, be in a difficult situation. Like, I challenge myself all the time. Like,
yeah,
I'm learning new things for my business or setting up new systems for my business. Like, I went from being, like, so anxious and petulant about, like, certain, like, AI things and spreadsheets I needed and all this stuff to, like, feeling really excited and empowered, and, like, I hired a teacher to literally teach me how to do the things that I needed. It's not that I'm not growing or I'm not challenging myself, or just certain things that I know I don't to do and I don't
mhm.
enjoy. Even as small as
Oh, no, you're
big
freezing.
chunk of my Tuesday afternoon. Oh, I'm freezing.
Oh, no, you're back. You're back.
Or if people wanna meet with me at 9 a.m., I'm like, "That's not happening," Like, that's my me time, like, you're not gonna see me then. And so it's like, I don't budge on these things. It's like, now that I know what the right setup needs to be,
Yeah,
and I've decided that, like, I want ease in my day. I want to be able to, like, have certain hours to myself. I don't wanna be on back to back calls, like, in the second half of Tuesday, which is, like, a busy day for me. I don't feel guilty and I don't feel like to structure a thing to accommodate my clients all the time. It's like they're paying me and they want the best of me. So like they need to work a little bit on my terms. Whereas last decade, it was like saying yes to everything, feeling guilty about everything,
yeah.
like feeling like I needed to like give myself to everything. I specifically remember this one event I did. It was do you remember Mogul, the like events company Mogul? Did you ever hear of them?
Mhm.
Okay. So I spoke at a Mogul event and for some godforsaken reason at the end of my talk I was like, and if you want to chat further or like get in touch with me or ask me literally anything, like come find me after. and I'll give you my email. I gave my email to probably almost 50 people.
Oh my god.
They all fucking emailed me. They all emailed me. And I remember having nights where I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
I need to get through these emails. Like, I need to get back to this person. Like, they weren't paying me. Like, they weren't a potential customer. They weren't my friend. Like, having full blown panic attacks because I
been
wasn't
there.
like getting back to these people. It's like, why did I even give access? Like, why did I even feel like everyone just email me? Like, just email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like, why
Yeah.
did I even feel like I needed to do that?
No, we've
Like,
all been there. I feel like I've had to get out of that too. That that's so real because I feel like a part of the process of just living a happier, more free life is letting go, like, feeling yeah, allowing yourself to be more inaccessible, but also because you just value but it's a byproduct of you valuing yourself
Mhm.
in a way, and your
Yeah,
services in a way, and your time in a way, and your expertise in a way, and I definitely didn't used to do that, like, even when I was a founder, like, I'd talk to anybody, I would get anybody on the phone, anybody on a call, I've gotta be,
same.
running out and doing stuff, and I'm like, I'm feeling bad, and I'm just like, you can't do that because I feel like we tell ourselves it's like us being good Samaritans, like it's this like valiant thing, but it's actually I feel like it's actually rooted in a lack of self-worth, honestly. Like I'm gonna take it there. It is that deep. It is actually
Yes.
that deep. And I remember like one time, yeah, being in that phase and like somebody asked to hop on a call with me and I sent her some rates back and or like a my calendar that like had the rate attached, and she sent me a really firmly worded email back, but I didn't know this person, mind you. I mean, if she was somebody in my network, it probably been a little different, but like I didn't know this person, and she was like she like reamed me out, and I was like, "Oh my god," I was upset about it for like a week, like I couldn't get over it. And today that just like something like that just seems so small to me because I'm like I see myself on in such a way and on such a level in a way that I didn't a few years ago. It's so crazy. Like you have to get rid of that. And you also have to get rid of the shame attached to all your past failures or whatever you perceive to be a failure. I realize like you have to get rid of all that guilt and shame because it really
Hmm.
holds you back. Like the way that you're perceiving yourself negatively a lot of the time is attached to like the shame that you have from past outcomes.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've had to let go of that shit as well, and it's crazy. Like, the way that I wake up today, bitch, is like, I was not this bitch in my business, even when people thought I was that bitch. Like, I was not like, I'm so into myself. I'm, like,
I
so
love it.
happy mostly every day except for when I'm, like, luteal. Like, I'm just like, "You just I can't." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. I feel the same, and I only feel sad that I couldn't, like, access it sooner, and I think a
Yeah,
large
I know.
part.
That's my biggest regret. I write about that in my journal all the time.
Mm,
Like,
mm.
the only regret that I have, if I were to name one, is that I wish I had figured this out sooner. Like, it just is not that deep. Like, everything just felt so
Do or die. What
do
did you
die
do,
all
though?
nothing.
What did you do, though, on, like, the self-respect, self-worth thing? Because I feel like, to your point, if, you know, h creating more time for yourself and, like, allowing ease and, like, not inconveniencing yourself constantly for people that, like, don't necessarily deserve for you to, like, aggressively inconvenience yourself. If all of that if people are inconveniencing themselves and are, like, people being kind of, like, pick me or people pleasing me because of this self-worth problem, and then it gets resolved by, like, healing that self-worth problem, how do you heal that underlying problem?
Like, what, your self-worth problem? How do you heal a lack of self-worth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bitch, let me tell you, I my relationship to self-worth has evolved so much, and I feel like I was kind of late in the game because I didn't really understand the concept of
You
self-worth.
you were late in the
I
game to
I wrote
self-worth.
about this. I was like late as fuck on the self-worth game because I thought my whole life that I had self-worth. Like I just thought like if you like yourself enough, like you have self-worth. And that's not true. And so when I had started therapy, when I was running my business, of course, naturally started therapy when I was running my business. And I was telling my therapist, like, I was telling her something. I think it was this story when I was in middle school, because I tell this story all the time. I was in middle school and I remember being friends with this girl, and like this other girl walked into the classroom, and she's super pretty. And I remember the girl that I was friends with, like, saying something about her being really pretty and really she was gorgeous. And I agreed, but then I said something, but I'm like, "Oh, but what about me?" or something like that. And then my friend was so pissed. Like, she was like, "That's so annoying. Like, just because I'm saying that she's pretty doesn't mean that you're not pretty."
Mhm.
And I was like, "That is absolutely what it means." If nobody's complimenting you, it's because you're not a star. Like, my mind was so fucking warped
Yeah.
like, but also, I've seen the women in my family like just bend over backwards and all of this stuff. And so I had this really weird relationship. And so I'm telling my therapist this, and she's like, the difference between self esteem and self worth is like self esteem is like you're good at something and you're good. Like maybe it's a subject that you're going to get an A in on a test, and you show up and you get an A and you're like, "Yeah, I nailed it because of course I did because I'm good at that." Self-worth is like, you have this test, and regardless of whether you pass or fail, you still know you're that girl. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't change your worth or your perception of yourself regardless. Like a compliment, somebody complimenting somebody else does not change the
Mhm.
perception of yourself regardless. And I was like, this bitch told me I got a low self-worth. Girl, I'm paying you $200. Um, but no,
Worth it.
like ever since she said that, it was years ago, but it really stuck with me. And like I feel like how I've learned to overcome that is very it's very tactile. Like I'm like crazy though, you guys. Like I do a lot of subliminals. I'm very
Mhm.
into the neuroscience thing because a lot of it is literally just your brain. It's like you're running on autopilot. You're telling yourself all of these things about yourself since you're born, damn near. We're in our 30s by this point. So just think about how many of those like that like those things on a loop that you're telling yourself over and over and over. And so I do a lot of repetitive things. I listen to like these princess subliminals. I'm so crazy. I'll listen to like the most like bizarre, like I'm living my dream life. I'm a princess. This is that. Like something that is like so opposite to how
Yeah.
I felt like in the moment when I started them to now where I'm like, I'm literally a princess.
Yeah. I also do subliminals, like, I fall
I'm
asleep.
obsessed with a
If Dave
subliminal.
if Dave lets me, he hates them. He wants to listen to, like, fantasy books, and I'm like, "We need to, like, listen to manifestations."
That's me too. Like I go to sleep. I'm crazy. Like I will take it there. Like for me, a lot of it is like just reprogramming the script and the
Mhm,
thing that I tell
mhm.
myself. Um because a lot like people the outside world doesn't perceive you in the way that you perceive yourself 9 out of 10 times. So it's just like you just have to tell yourself I do a lot of robotic affirmations. I talk about that on my Instagram. I will like where's my I'm on my phone, I can't show you guys, but, like, I have this app, like, this counter app, and I try to get to 10,000 times. I'll tell myself, like, "I'm so gorgeous, I'm so amazing, I'm so this, I'm so that, um, I'm number 1 on Substack, I'm going viral." Whatever you wanna, like, put, it could be anything, it's about the repetition, it's not necessarily about,
But
what
I almost think of it like thinking back on, like, the thoughts you like, I had a similar realization of like, wow, the way I've spoken to myself or like the intrusive thoughts or like the negative self-talk I've done on myself for so many years, it almost builds up like gunk in your mind. It's like layers and layers of gunk. And it's like you kind of need content. Like for me, it's like it was certain podcasts, it was certain subliminal like YouTube manifestations, it was reading certain books that almost like dissolved the gunk,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
I had to do something to like take away the gunk and like reframe how I experience the world.
Yeah.
And I think that my biggest issue was going back to exactly what you're saying about the like, you can take the test and do well, but like your sense of value shouldn't hinge on how well you do.
Mhm.
I lived my entire life up until like a few years ago on like my value is completely dependent on like my performance. So
Me
like
too.
that was
100%.
it. That was
100%. Like, if I am not succeeding, I am nothing.
yes.
Yes.
And it would like it would affect me on such a deep level that it would like paralyze me or
That was
send
me
me into
too.
like anxiety spirals.
Yeah.
And I just go back in time and I'm like, that was never like, maybe it was motivating in a sick way, but like,
Oh
it
my god,
also,
are you, like, literally in my head or what? Like,
I mean,
literally, 'cause
we
like, that would be
also,
my motivation.
we're also like accidentally matching again.
You're
Um,
so funny.
I have to go. I have to go. I
I know,
gotta
low key.
go. But what is your final takeaway from this like very woo woo live that
Yeah,
we've
I know, we're this I feel like I actually love this live because it's like, get into our
had?
brain because this is just
Yeah,
us. But, I feel like my final takeaway is let go of the guilt and shame of every past failure slash scenario or way that you think you should have shown up. You were doing the best with the tools and the information that you had at that time. You truly have to let it go. You can be a brand new fucking bitch tomorrow. Do not discount okay, if I were to show you guys who I was, like, growing up, you would be like, "This is not the same bitch." Like, if I were to show you a picture, okay, you can literally transform, but you have to let the shit go. And then I think
mhm.
the third thing that a lot of people don't talk about, especially within the woo-woo community, is you have to be neutral. Like, you literally can't care. You have to take everything that you want off the pedestal because when you do that, it's like it goes back to the self-worth thing. It's like, "Why are you down here and the thing you want is up here? What the fuck?
I
Absolutely the
just
fuck not. No. No. So stop that shit." It's like, it's really inappropriate. So, yeah, neutrality and no expectations for what something has to be. Just,
I
like,
think
just inspired action, and that's it.
I love that. I think I would add that tell yourself every day that you deserve to be happy. And if you're in a situation, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a work environment where you are persistently miserable or you are not experiencing the level of happiness that you want, no one has like jailed you or constricted you. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Conscripted
constrain.
you to that situation. And as soon as you identify that there are alternatives, like you don't need to be in that situation, um, take steps to get out of it,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Like you deserve to be happy. The world will give you enough accidental suffering. People in your life will become unwell. Financial things might happen to you. Like if you are in a situation where you're unhappy and you do have agency over making a change there, then like
Mhm.
100% should.
Stop punishing yourself.
Yeah.
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 Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Anyway, this was actually so I don't know why I'm saying actually because all of them are fun. Um,
It's
I
we
feel
we're like
nervous at first, but then you guys always show up and then I just come out of my shell.
we're like Glennon Doyle who? Jay Shetty who?
Girl, Jay Shetty ain't talking about nothing.
That
Yeah,
must
these are, like, recorded back this is there will be a history of me saying that. But
And
anyways,
then
I
he's
will
gonna be like, "Essence, like, you're" yeah, I don't know
girl,
what I'm saying. I honestly don't know what I'm saying right now, so I'm just gonna hang up the
but it's like, it's okay
line.
because 'cause we're always, like, adding value, I
We're
think is the
always
point. We're
Everyone have a great rest of your week, and we will see you at Slutty Founder and New Motives.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.